With Toho having announced a third release of Godzilla Minus One on Blu-ray, I have to ask the question, what's going on here?
It's morphin' time!
Hello, this is Soundout here, and on today's video, we're talking about Toho's Godzilla Minus One international physical disc releases. Because you think there would just be like one, maybe two, not technically six. We're going to go through all of them because a lot of people were asking what is going on with these things, considering there's so many editions of the same movie out there. And it's been kind of weighing on my mind, and I thought, let's do a video, compare and contrast, and figure out what is going on. So if you enjoy this type of video and you enjoy physical media, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell if you haven't already. Keep up with future videos on this channel, help support this one to do well. I greatly appreciate it. It does a lot of great help for the channel. So let's talk about Godzilla Minus One and provide some context in case you haven't heard of the movie. So Godzilla Minus One was the 2023 Godzilla film. It was produced by Toho in Japan. It was a very huge passion project for a small team of people, and it is an Academy Award winner for Best Visual Effects, which basically never happens to international films, let alone films from Japan, let alone a Godzilla movie. But good old Goji is now an Academy Award winner. So the interesting part here is that the film was released directly by Toho into theaters in most places. For some reason, Southeast Asia didn't get it, and we're still confused as to why. But the interesting part there is it wasn't done through a Western company. Toho did it themselves. And then when it came to their physical media release, which came a whole year after that theatrical release, Toho was also handling it themselves. They're not selling it off to another company. It's not being sub-licensed and handled by someone like Shout Factory or Arrow Video or a bigger studio or anything like that. Toho's doing it themselves. Now, unfortunately, while that is a kind of neat upside that we're getting a similar release to what's in Japan, the downside is that Toho seems to be kind of figuring out, let's just see if we can exploit collectors for all of their money. Well, let's talk about why that is. But we're not going to be talking about this release first. We're going to talk about the one I didn't buy, which was the actual first release. And that one is probably the worst deal. All right, the first release of Godzilla Minus One outside of Japan was the Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray Deluxe Japan Collector's Edition, exclusive to the Godzilla store, retailing for $65, and it released on September 30th, 2024. The idea behind this set was to not be anything more than allowing Western fans to have a chance at getting the Japanese Collector's Edition Blu-ray. And on top of that, Toho was nice enough to put English subtitles on the release, but only for part of it. So going over features-wise, this collection contains 4 discs. A 4K disc of the movie, a Blu-ray disc of the movie, a minus color Blu-ray, which is the black and white version, but it's only on Blu-ray, not 4K, and then a bonus Blu-ray disc. The only language options for the movies is Japanese, and the only subtitle options are English and Spanish, as well as Japanese subtitles, but that carries over from the Japanese release. There also is a fancy box, a special booklet, and a special disaster response materials compilation abridged version book, all in original Japanese. Now, there are bonus features on this set. On disc 2, which is the Blu-ray edition of the movie, you get a trailer collection containing a bunch of trailers and TV spots for the film and just general promotional stuff. But then the big thing was disc 4, which contained all the behind-the-scenes material. You had a making-of feature, a VFX making-of, a release commemorative special program behind the scenes Godzilla Minus One number 30, event footage from September 3rd, October 18th, October 23rd, November 1st, November 3rd, November 8th to 10th, November 29th, as well as Yamazaki Takashi, the director, doing talk shows for September 15th, 29th, 13th, and October 27th, which all feature special guests. And all of those features on this bonus disc have no English subtitles whatsoever. They're only in Japanese, no subs. I believe there might be Japanese subs, but no English subs. And for a lot of fans, they looked at this release as like, oh, Toho's giving us a chance to get the bonus features where a standard release wouldn't include those bonus features. And so, okay, it's not subbed, but it is just a standalone release, and it's not something they're going to be doing for everything. It's just a chance to get this set, and at least they gave us English subtitles for the movie. Now, that being said, we knew a standard release was coming. The idea with the Japan special box was that it was going to be an early release, in September. And then when November rolled around, we got the announcement of the standard editions. So the standard retail editions included the following. There is a steelbook that retailed for $55. That one has been sold out a lot of places, sold out before it even came out, and that one's not really available. There's the 4K, which has a list price of $50, but is selling for about $30 these days. There's a Blu-ray edition that was list price $40, sells for about $25, and a DVD edition, which is list price $35, sells for about $20. And all these releases came out September 19th, 2024. So personally speaking, I did just pick up the standard edition 4K because I didn't feel like getting the steelbook for the price it was going for. But the basic rundown is as follows. So the steelbook edition contains Godzilla Minus One on 4K and Blu-ray, and includes the Blu-ray bonus feature disc. The 4K here contains Godzilla Minus One on 4K and the Blu-ray bonus features disc. You don't get the same movie on Blu-ray nor a digital copy code. The Blu-ray set contains a Blu-ray of Godzilla Minus One and the bonus features disc, and the DVD contains only a DVD of the movie, no bonus features at all. In terms of audio options, it contains both the Japanese original audio as well as the English dub. And for subtitles, we get English, English for hearing impaired, French, and Spanish. On top of that, the discs are region-free, as they do represent regions A, B, and C, and that is pretty nice because a lot of companies, especially from Japan, like to lock things to region A or A and B. You rarely see all region like this, but maybe because Toho's distributing directly, they felt like doing that. Okay, so let's talk about the release itself before we get into its bonus features disc. So first of all, I absolutely despise the cover art. It's pretty lazy, in my opinion. This is just a standard image of Godzilla from the promotion of the movie. This is the same image they use on the menus. You have the logo, you have written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki, which is nice, that's nice. And then you just have the most generic block font, Academy Award winner, best visual effects. It's not with pomp and circumstance, it feels bootleggy. This is pretty low effort and honestly should be better. No slipcover on the standard releases either. The Steelbook has a slipcover, but not the standard editions. It is, of course, in a 4K Blu-ray case because it's the 4K Blu-ray, but they use this cover for all of them. And I don't like it that much. For the spine, you have, of course, Toho up here, Ultra HD Blu-ray, and then just the title text. It does have a nice wraparound feature where the image does carry around, which is pretty cool. On the back, you have your copy text, which is hard to read because it's white text on top of white buildings, and so it reads well here but not well here. Again, just doesn't feel super clean. And then you have, here's all your text spec stuff. Of course, you have it in 16:9, 2160p Ultra HD definition. The English audio is a 5.1 track, whereas the Japanese is Dolby Atmos. That's great. And overall, it's just that. And then it also has this little thing that says, this product is authorized for sale or rent only in the country originally sold, i.e. only in the US or only in Canada, respectively, since this is the North American version. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or exhibition violates federal laws with severe penalties. Godzilla.com. It also does put the Academy Award as a registered trademark. It would have been nice to put like the little Oscar picture on there like we get on some releases. Now, this is the part that lies. So it says, bonus features, commemorative special feature, Godzilla Minus One, number 30, VFX behind the scenes, event video collection, and Tokyo International Film Festival opening red carpet. This makes it seem like what we got is not the same bonus features from the Japan box set, but a selection of them. That's not true, and we'll get into that as well. Now, what we have inside, we have, of course, Godzilla Minus One on 4K, shot from the movie, and a bonus disc, which is a Blu-ray. Now, this bonus disc, and the reason why it's separate from your 4K, is packed. I think now's the time to go take a look at the contents of these discs and what is actually included on those bonus features. So the 4K's disc menu starts with a fireball into Godzilla. It's a pretty basic menu. It's just the image from the cover. Of course, you got play, you got your scene selection, which of course gives you all your chapter markers. And then, of course, we have setup, which setup allows us to look at the audio and subtitles. So audio, you got your 5.1 English or your Japanese Dolby Atmos. The Dolby Atmos Japanese is the default track when you boot it up, which is kind of cool. And then for subtitles, you have subtitles off, English on, which is the default, English for hearing impaired, French, or Spanish. So with the movie disc and the bonus disc, when it first starts up, you have English, French, and Spanish as your initial command. Now, on the movie, you can switch languages and subtitles easily within the setup menu, whereas for the bonus disc, which language subtitles you want, English, French, or Spanish, you need to select at the beginning because you can't change it once you're into the disc menu. But you can change it just by restarting the disc, you know, eject it, put it back in, that kind of thing. I will say the menu starting with a giant fireball is just so weird to me because I don't usually go with fireballs for Godzilla. But anyways, same menu design as the movie disc, except of course now you have all your bonus features. So you have your behind the scenes, your VFX behind the scenes, the theater release commemorative special feature, behind the scenes Godzilla Minus One, number 30. Down here, when you click Event Video Collection, it'll open a separate menu, and that menu will get you like the movie completion press conference and the premiere red carpet event, and like it goes all the way down to the Sapporo event. You even got the North American premiere, and these are all video and footage recorded from these different events, which I think is super cool to have. Then, of course, you have Takashi Yamazaki's selection talk shows, which will open up. And then you have, these are from special screenings for the movie. So the first guest is Shinji Higuchi. The second guest is Keizo Murase. Then we have the third guest, Shunsuke Kaneko. And then the fourth guest, Hideaki Anno. So you got 4 different interviews there, which is pretty cool as well. And then the Academy Awards winner additional screening trailer is a trailer for a Japanese re-release. And so this trailer is the one where it's got the Academy Award winner logo on it. This is for a Japanese theatrical re-release after it won the Best Visual Effects Oscar. So pretty cool to include as well. So the bonus disc is absolutely stacked, and it's incredible to see this many bonus features for a modern film on its first home release for a wide release. Wide releases don't usually come with this much stuff, and I'm really glad it does, because a lot of people will be able to get a lot of this just by buying the normal release, which is super cool. So all of the meaningful bonus features from the Japan collector's box that wasn't subtitled into English is subtitled into English on the standard release. This is great because most people are going to pick up the standard release, but imagine if you spent $65 on that collector's box thinking that was the only way you were going to get those bonus features, and the only unique things you ended up getting was the trailer collections, and then Godzilla Minus Color, which is the black and white version. Well, Toho said, let's go for round 3 with the watch-along edition. So the third release of this movie is the Godzilla Minus One 2-disc watch-along edition Blu-ray, exclusive to the Godzilla store, retailing for $25, releasing in January 2025. And all this info is pulling from the Godzilla store because nobody has this release in hand. So this set is frustrating for those that want everything, because it's got 2 discs. You've got your Godzilla Minus One on 4K and Minus Color on 4K. Speaking from the future, I do realize that the Godzilla Minus Color is actually just a Blu-ray, not a 4K, and this is something I say that it's on 4K for the rest of the video because I assume so based on the packaging, but then when I looked closer into the details, it's actually Minus Color on Blu-ray, asking the question further of why not 4K. But yeah, I said it was a 4K, it's a Blu-ray. So Minus Color just doesn't exist on 4K. You get both Japanese and English dubs. English for hearing impaired, French and Spanish subtitles. And then for bonus features, you get nothing that's in the previous releases, but you get 2 brand new commentary tracks by Takashi Yamazaki, Kyoko Shibuya, Masaki Takahashi, and Tatsuya Nojima. Those are the people that worked on the movie, the director and the visual effects team. So that's really cool, and I'd like to be able to hear that. The commentary tracks also do include English, French, and Spanish subtitles, which, you know, commentaries in Japanese, but you get subtitles. So now we have a third edition, has the commentary tracks that aren't in the standard release or the Japanese set. So it kind of just feels like Toho is like, we can milk $25 out of these suckers. Let's talk broader. What's unique to each edition? Do you need them all? So let's talk about the unique features of each set. The Japanese edition's unique features is the physical bonuses, the trailer collection. Then for the standard edition, the unique features include the English dubs, which are also on the watch-along, but the English dubs, the bonus features actually being subtitled, as well as a Academy Awards re-release trailer, which didn't seem to be on the Japan edition from my research. Then for the watch-along, its unique features include commentary tracks in addition to having the dubs that were included on the standard release. So which release is best for you? Well, most people are going to be happy with the standard edition because the standard edition contains most of the meaningful bonus features. You lose out on the commentary tracks, you lose out on some trailers, but you got at least a majority of things with English subtitles, plus the movie in both English and Japanese. However, you are missing the minus color version if that is something that is important to you. Also, if you get the DVD edition, you don't get any of those bonus features, you just get the movie. The Japan edition is definitely not definitive, and honestly, almost was made pointless by the other two releases, because there is another option to get minus color. There is another option for the bonus features because they're actually subtitled this time. The Japan edition getting released the way it did kind of felt like Toho knew about the FOMO and the scarcity of Godzilla releases and tapped into it. And then the watch-along edition kind of feels like things that should have just been in this, or at least like a special edition of this. Like, there could have been the standard that just included Godzilla Minus One, and then a special edition released at the same time that include minus color, but still included the bonus features disc. And if the watch-along edition had included the bonus features disc, I would call that the definitive, but because it didn't, you're going to have to buy at least one other release. And then if you want absolutely everything, from physical bonuses to trailer collections to commentaries to dubs to subtitles, you need all three. And considering that was 65, 30, and then also another 25, that adds up pretty quick for one singular movie. And this is a thing that a lot of companies try to avoid, because when you do this, it starts to upset people, and then people just kind of feel like, oh, next time you release something, I'm not going to buy it right away because you're going to re-release it with more features. And that doesn't always happen. But this has happened many times in the, larger Hollywood space. And Toho, I think, just walked in and was like, let's just see if we can get the most money we can out of this. And that honestly kind of feels a little crappy. And for me personally, I'm going to be happy with the standard edition because I don't want to spend $25 more on this movie to get the black and white and to get the commentaries. I would have liked that just included in this set. And I'm kind of glad I didn't pick up the Japan edition, but I feel for all the collectors who did, who bought it specifically for the bonus features thinking, well, they're not subbing them, so that means this is the only way to get them. And then they subbed them all anyways. And then also on top of that, I kind of glossed over it. It doesn't say that it comes with all the bonus features that were on the Japan edition, but it does. It comes with pretty much everything that was on the Japan edition minus the trailer collection. So all the substantial stuff is still here on the standard. I hope that Toho continues to distribute their own movies because it did allow for quicker, wider releases. It does seem less expensive. They weren't like premium price. They were just kind of standard price. But I really hope they don't ever do this again. Like, whatever the next Toho Godzilla movie is, please don't do this again, because what it does is it destroys customer loyalty. And as a fan collecting stuff, it just makes me frustrated. I ultimately went with the standard and said, that's the one I'm getting. And I'm glad I didn't buy the others, because that's a lot of money for one movie when all of it could have been included in one set from the jump. So no mistakes to be made, the standard release of this movie is great. Having all those bonus features, plus having the movie in both versions, plus the visual and audio quality, especially on the 4K, is very impressive. There's nothing really wrong with the standard edition. It's more just the broader sense when we bring in the other editions from a collecting standpoint. But like I said, for the average viewer, this is going to be the perfect release for them. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with what I have. It's just one of those broader topics that I wanted to discuss, but I did want to make it clear, I still think this is a solid release. It's just, maybe next time get a cover artist and not just whatever this is. I mean, it's not even good Photoshop. It's just kind of lazy. It's just kind of slapdash. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up this video. How does this look on the shelf with your other Godzilla movies? All right, let's line these all up. So, of course, we have Shin Godzilla, which was a Funimation release. We'll put that right there because that was there. We have the 4 MonsterVerse movies that star Godzilla, which are all Warner Brothers releases. Then we have our Millennium Era Sony dual feature Blu-rays, which are kind of out of order because of how it worked out. And we got our Columbia TriStar Godzilla 98, our Sony Heisei Godzilla movie Blu-rays there. Of course, we have Miramax's Biollante release and Kraken's Return of Godzilla, which leads us to, oh wow, that's a lot of different people. Oh wait, I forgot one. The Criterion Showa book collection. Yeah, so here's our current Godzilla movie shelf. I long for consistency, I really do. Godzilla, I just wish everything could be released under one publisher for once, because, boy, it's a little messy, isn't it? We got big old book, we got this single release that hasn't been done again, this single release hasn't been done again, that dual feature, this dual feature that contains the last Heisei movie and the second Millennium movie, which just screws up my shelf. And, of course, TriStar is going to hold on to their Godzilla movie, then 2000 as a single for some reason, and then there's a 2-pack, but the 2-pack doesn't include the 2 Millennium movies that are actually together. Anyways, complaining aside, at least we have all the Godzilla movies on Blu-ray. I just want something better. But at least we have them all. So I hope you enjoyed this video about transparency from companies and trying not to screw over your core collector base in a niche market, or also known as what's going on with the Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray. And if you did and you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos and help this video get out to more people. Leave any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts down below. Like, you know, which edition did you get and which edition do you feel like you also wanted to get? If you want to continue the conversation, join our Discord server in the link below. Also, if you want to support the channel directly, join as a channel member for perks like early access to videos, member-exclusive live streams, and special shoutouts. Let's get some special shoutouts now. Special shout out to our channel members, Captain Tiers, Spin-54, Toma K, Masterbin95, Trevor1000, Bendon Odinson, Lil Gamer Leveler, Brogu, Alexander Flights, Juan Bad Day, Cajun Kaiju, Liam Peterson, Cam Strickland, Taran Eason, Shane Zero Mac, FKA, Colbot Axolotl, David Cook, Jay Wyatt, Jeremy the NES Rookie, Izuto727, Flexible Figures, Kustov, Critical Smash, Carlos St. Hilaire, Kakikaku, Travis, Curse0529, Leonardo7447, Stay at Home Meatbag, Alvaro Gomez, Philip Ceruno, The Matcha Den, AG Lee, CJ Centron, and Rebecca. If you want to find me, I'm on social media at Blue Sky and Instagram at Soundout12. You can also find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643. Plus, check out Hero Club at hero-club.com, where we have a new Godzilla-related interview on the site right now. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.